Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can export the Entra ID roles, right? And all those roles which we have assigned across the Entra tenant, across the organizations by using tenant-wide roles, right? Then group-based roles as well as using PIM, which is Privileged Identity Management roles as well, right? So that's going to be a pretty straightforward report, which is going to show us all the different roles assigned, right? And which user has what role. It includes service principals as well, and it's going to show us what roles are permissions are assigned to service principals as well, right? And that's going to give us the complete visibility so that we can make the appropriate decisions or changes, whether we wanted to provide that or keep that report up and running or active, and people should be able to use it or see it or whatever it is, right? So this is going to be pretty straightforward and easy. And then I'm going to show you how we can do that, right? So basically, there are certain permissions that we need to provide, right? So permissions, those permissions should be on the Graph API basis, right? And once we have those permissions granted, those permissions would be allowing us to export different roles, right? So it's on the user level, right? Which is going to be a tenant or role scope is going to be tenant wide, right? And then either administrative unit wide, how we have assigned any roles on a specific administrative wise, or all scopes. So all scopes is including going to be tenant wide along with the group basis and whatever it is, right? So basically, I'm going to show you all the basic requirements and then we can go ahead and start it, right? So let's talk about, or let me share my screen so that I can show you what are the things needed, right? And what are the different features that it also provides us, right? So here's the PowerShell script. And before jumping onto this one, I'm going to show you something on the permission side. So we have requirements, which includes this module needs to be installed, which is Microsoft.Graph.Authentication module. And this is a Graph API per API module, which is going to allow us to export all of those permissions and a report altogether. And also going to help us to authenticate in order to export everything from Entra ID, right? There are certain permissions that we need, which includes Directory.Read.All, then privileged eligibility scheduled read and Azure AD group level as well, right? Then RoleManagement.Read.Directory. So this is for privileged role assignments, and it's going to allow us to export all those permissions and the roles as well. Not directly permissions, but majorly the roles which we have assigned using privileged identity management, right? So these are the three permissions which we need to grant and provide. If we don't have, I have already granted those, so those are not going to be asking us or asking me to grant it again. Then there are certain other capabilities or features, we can say comprehensive role report or assignment overview. It's going to give and show us everything together, right? And then detailed reporting, right? Basis on what role was assigned to what user and whether it is a tenant level scope or specific group or administrative unit level scopes. And then it's going to be pretty easy. Then security group expansion, administrative units, and then multiple report outputs. So separate for each roles or different capabilities like administrative units, then tenant wide and group ways, along with user base as well, right? So let's jump onto the PowerShell and I'm going to show you how we can do that, right? So I'm on the PowerShell here, and so here we need to first authenticate, and but before that, there's a commandlet that we need to install the required PowerShell module, right? So to do that, there is, I think I have not collected. Let me get that commandlet from here quickly, and that should be pretty straightforward. All right, copy. This one is here. All right, so here is the commandlet. I have that with me here. Just copy it, just come back here, then paste it and run it. So now you need to open a PowerShell with admin rights, right? And then you need to run this commandlet. So this is going to be a PowerShell module. This is a pretty lightweight and straightforward module. And you can see that it is installed successfully. And you might be wondering why I have put force at the end, because I had installed it before, and that is why I need to put that force again to reinstall it, so that it is going to just install it again and not failing, or it's not going to give any errors, right? So now that's installed. Let's clear it up. Now let's go back. Just import that module wherever we have to authenticate, right? So this is the PowerShell module which we are going to import, and I already connected to the graph, right? So that is going to automatically picking up, but import of this module is very important. So let's import it. You can see it has already imported, and to show that whether I am connected to, since it is not connected, let me try and connect it again then, because I had disconnected it before. Okay, so now it's connected. Now run this perfect. Now I will just import this module perfect, and then we are ready here to just generate that report. To generate this report, we need to just copy this command. And before that, I wanted to talk a bit about these two methods, or these two options, right? These are the two options which we can use to automate this reporting capability using Entra application registration mechanism. And then once we register an application, we need to provide a tenant ID, then client ID and client secrets in the first option. And in the second option over here, we need to create a certificate, and that certificate thumbprint should be added to this commandlet, so that it is going to allow us to export all those capabilities, right? All those reports, because thumbprints is considered more secure than the clients and secrets, right? And that is why we wanted to make sure it has appropriate permissions to grant and then export it as well, right? So let's generate a report now, and just copy this out and paste it here, and then hit enter. And you can see that it has already installed this PowerShell module, and then it has also granted everything together. All right, so here we are on the report. Report has automatically exported and open it up as well. Before that, I'll jump and show you on the PowerShell what's happening. Here we see found 13 security groups that are assignable to roles. And these are the different groups, right? And each group has certain permissions. It says found administrative units in the tenant, found 29 role assignments in the tenant, and all actions completed. And it has exported the report and stored it in this specific location. And it was disconnected after the report export, right? So this is the complete process, which we can see that it has executed successfully and it has given the report. Now let's jump back to the report and see that report. Here you can see that all the different roles, permanent assignments, eligible assignments, group assignments, and service principal assignments. Right, so let's say click on permanent assignments, and you can see that all those roles are showing up over here. You can see that there are different pages available. So there are total 3 pages, and each page has different roles, right? So let's say go back to first page, and you can see all those reports over here. Also, we can see all the entries. So just here's the on and off button, which is going to show us all the reports, and it's going to adjust everything in single page instead of going through the next pages, right? Now we have seen that. Now let's go back and we can see principal type. So for now, here you can see all types. If you wanted to see the users, then select the users, and then it's going to show which user has what permission, right? Report reader, then organization message writer. So what are the different roles assigned? It's going to show everything together, whether account is active, disabled, even that is also going to show us. Then assign roles and role scope on the tenant wide or what is it, and the start date and end date, right? Also assignment type. This is showing up in the red in the background here, and that's going to give us the complete highlight about it, right? And then we can filter it out either all users on the all types, then it's going to show that as well. Then you can filter it with the groups. We can come back and see how many roles are with the group. So you can see that principal type set to group, and here are different groups available where we have assigned those roles. If you wanted to filter out service principals, then we should be able to see service principals as well. Right, so these are the service principals which are scoped on tenant wide and then assigned roles here. You can see that, and on the assignment type, start date, end date, correct, and the type of principal as well, which is service principal. And then we can filter out with the scope, which we wanted to, if, let's say tenant wide, then we should be able to see tenant wide. Then administrative units, we don't have anything using administrative units. And all scopes, we can just simply see all the scopes, including tenant wide and everything, right? Also, if you wanted to go back and select all, everything and everywhere, just click on group assignments. It is going to filter out with group assignments only. If service principal, then it's going to show us all that service principals only, right? So isn't this reporting a cool capability, right? As this is going to really give us the complete visibility of the report and who has what levels of access and permissions. It is also going to give us that as well. And then once we have that details, we should be able to see it. On okay, seems it is just stuck at one place. All right, so here you can see that it is showing all the roles, and by default is going to stay on principal type all, and role scope is all. Now, if you wanted to search any specific role over here, let's say I would like to search for user admin, I will just search it. And you can see that I can see there are two users using on the specific user level, right? One is direct assignment and one is with a group-based assignment, right? So this way we can assign or we can filter it out and see which role is assigned what and what type or how it is assigned, right? So basis on that, we can filter it out, and then this is going to be pretty straightforward and easy for us to analyze report and take appropriate actions, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. I wanted to show you and talk about so that you can also learn something new. And this is the great capability for each and everyone and anyone who is working around Entra ID security and all the different capabilities across the roles, right? And it is not specific to only the security people, but also for the people who are working on Entra administrator side, on the support roles, on the help desk roles, and anyone who wants to know and learn about it, right? Because this is going to be helping everyone to know and understand it. So yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you'll like and hope you'll learn. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it across so that people around you and people can learn from it. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that it is going to be more engaged full and it's going to be showing and notifying you new videos every time once those are uploaded. Right. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.